Hello, GC de Guzman here for our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis. This video is for short-term trading purposes, and I'm going to discuss 10 stocks that appeared in the top 5 gainers and top 5 losers list last Friday, June 7, 2019. This is in preparation for the next trading day on June 10, Monday. Okay, so new subscribers, new listeners, take note, this is for short-term trading purposes. Okay, the first stock that I'm going to discuss is LR. Okay, let me just arrange this one. So we have LR, no, not LR, it's SSI. So SSI closed on Friday at 3.51. The acting support is 3.44. That was its former resistance, which it broke last Friday. Therefore, we have to find the psychological resistance for SSI, and to find that, I plotted an up Fibonacci extension, an up Fibonacci, and the psychological resistance is positioned at the 61.8% of the up Fibonacci extension, and that is at 4.23. So let me repeat the support and resistance levels. Support is at 3.12, resistance is at 4.23. I am seeing a perfect bullish alignment among the three simple moving averages of SSI. MACD also registered a golden cross last Friday. Therefore, the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combo have been satisfied or met last Friday. I am also seeing I also see here that SSI is already moving in a strong uh, uptrend category or level already. There's nothing to worry even if RSI is approaching the classical overbought level. Why did I say that? I said that because I know you are following my advice of using a trailing stop loss. When you are using a trailing stop loss, it will allow you to maximize the highest possible gain that you could get uh, in an upward trending or upward moving stock. Remember, a trailing stop loss preserves your capital, protects your gains, and prevents unbearable losses. So, if you came from an old strategy of using a predefined target selling price, or if you were following a buy below price, you can comfortably uh, stop using those strategies, buy below price, target selling price, and use a trailing stop loss instead. It's I have explained and I have given examples on how to use trailing stop loss in our quick start guide. So go back to basics if you are a new subscriber, or if this is the first time that you have heard the phrase trailing stop loss. Go back to basics and read again our quick start guide. Okay. So before I drop my overall sentiment for SSI, let me show you its trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 3.45 all the way to 3.52. That's in favor of the buyers. Therefore, I am bullish on SSI. You have a data-driven reason to top up. If you have had SSI in your portfolio, you have a data-driven reason to enter a new position as well. But don't top up at any price. Do it within that dominant range that I've shown you within the first 3 to 5 minutes of trading tomorrow. After 3 to 5 minutes, you have to do a fresh trade and volume distribution analysis so you can see where the dominant range is. If you don't know how to do that, or if you need assistance, post a request in our private clients forum. I'm going to post my latest TVD chart, trade and volume distribution chart, as soon as I've seen your request. Okay, next, moving on to Abacor. ABA closed on Friday at 0.65, support is at 0.53, resistance is at 0.86. I'm seeing MACD still moving above the above the signal line, and the last candlestick is also moving above the 10 SMA. The bulls are in control. However, the upward momentum is not yet very strong. RSI is still quite distant from the classical overbought level, giving ABA more room to uh, walk towards 0.86, the resistance area. Let's see the trade and volume distribution chart of Abacor. The dominant range is between 0.63 to 0.66. I'm going to give this a score to the bulls, to the buyers. So what I can see here is that we still have a data-driven reason to top up if you have had Abacor, and you have a data-driven reason to enter a new position on this stock as well. Just don't buy at any price. Do it within that dominant range that I've mentioned. Okay, next we have LR. LR closed on Friday at 4.28. Support is at 3.81. Resistance is at 4.78. Um, and foreign investors, by the way, registered a net foreign selling worth 3.3 million last Friday. Unfortunately, MACD is still moving below the signal line. I am not yet seeing a bullish formation or a formation of a bullish convergence with the signal line, and unluckily, the last candlestick is still moving below the 10 SMA. So if you are looking for a high conviction call to trade LR, I am sorry to say that this is not just a high conviction call to trade the name, because the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combination have not been met yet, even though the four criteria that we are monitoring are already present. For the high risk traders who are okay in with preempting the conditions of the 10 SMA and MACD combinations or combination, you can do a test buy. But for those who would like to have a high conviction call, or a confirmed or a strong signal to buy LR, I suggest that you wait for the stock to meet the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combination first. In other words, wait for the last candlestick to rise higher than the 10 SMA, and for the MACD line, this blue line here, to cross above the red line or the signal line. Let me show you LR's trade and volume distribution chart. Here, the dominant range is between 4.2 to 4.2 all the way to 4.4. Okay, yes, like what I've said, the four criteria are present, but if you are looking for a high conviction call, wait for the 10 SMA and MACD combo to be met. Alright, I am neutral on LR. Next, IDC. IDC closed last Friday at 4.97. Support is at 4.35. Resistance is at 5.65, or we can also adjust this one to 5.8. Okay, now MACD is already moving above the signal line, and the last candlestick is also higher than the 10 SMA. Therefore, you have a confirmed buy signal courtesy of the met conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combo. How about the four criteria? Are they present? We are seeing a green candlestick. It closed above the VWAP of 4.92. Volume is higher than the 10-day volume average. Well, let's check IDC's trade and volume distribution chart now. The dominant range is in favor of the buyers, and the dominant range is between 4.9 all the way to 4.95. So you have a data-driven reason to top up or to enter a new position. When entering a new position, make sure you, or before you enter a new position, make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Okay? How to calculate it? Go back to the quick start guide. It's already explained there. And I'd like to mention also that the bulls are in control, but the upward momentum is not yet very strong. RSI is also in the neutral level, giving IDC more chances to make some attempts to come closer, to draw closer to the resistance at 5.8. I am bullish on IDC. PPG. PPG, or Finma Petroleum, closed last Friday at 3.98. It's now closer to its resistance at 4.17 then to its support at 2.99 or 3 pesos per share. And it's already moving above the 10 SMA, and I'm seeing, oh, I am not yet seeing a perfect bullish alignment among its three simple moving averages. I'd also like to highlight that the MACD is still moving below the signal line, although there's already a formation of a bullish convergence between these two lines. And I think MACD will only cross above the signal line once the price breaks above 4.17, the resistance area. Let me mention that RSI is quite distant, quite away from the classical overbought level. And by the way, I'd like to highlight that uh, the upward momentum is already very strong. Okay, it's already very strong. Let's check the trade and volume distribution chart of PPG. So PPG's dominant range is between 3.94 to 3.98. It's in favor of the buyers. If you have had PPG, uh, let's say since April 12, that was the day when the 10 SMA and MACD combo was recently um, um, when the conditions of the 10 SMA and MACD combo were recently satisfied. That was in April 12. So if you have had the PPG from April 12 onwards, I suggest that you stick with your trailing stop loss, and if the price is still moving above your TSL, you can still top up or add more shares, provided you set your buying price within the dominant range that I've mentioned. Now, if you don't have PPG but are planning to enter a new trade on this name, I suggest, as usual, calculate your trailing stop loss. But I don't think you will get a higher potential reward than potential risk, because the last price is already closer to its resistance than to its support level. So in that case, if you are really not a high risk trader, I suggest that you wait for a pullback, or instead try to buy on breakout. But if you are a high risk trader, you can do a test buy uh, without waiting for a pullback or for a breakout above 4.17. It all depends on your risk profile. We all have we all have our own levels of risk. We all have our own risk level, so to say. Okay, but given all these signs and bullish signals that we have seen on our data, I am bullish on PPG. Next, we have MWC. It closed last Friday at 23.35. 23.35. Resistance. Support is at 21 pesos per share. Resistance is at 25 pesos. This 23.34 line that you see here is the midterm resistance or midterm support. For as long as MWC is higher than 23.30, there's still a chance for this stock to bounce away, change its direction towards the northern direction, meaning to say towards breaking out above 25 pesos per share, the resistance area. However, there's a however here. Um, Last Friday we saw a tall red volume bar. Okay, but despite this tall red volume bar, foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 121 million pesos. Take note of that. So it seems that the support level that they have been waiting for was hit last Friday. So they bought the dip on MWC. So if you still have MWC since if you have had MWC since May 17 onwards, um, you have the option to still top up. Why? Because the MACD is still above the signal line, and the price is still moving higher than the 10 SMA, even though the four criteria that we are monitoring are not perfectly present yet. Okay. uh, Now for the new entrants, or for those who don't have MWC but are planning to enter a new position, I suggest that you wait for the four criteria to become present, okay, before you top up or before you enter a new position. And where should you, for those who have had MWC, where you should consider topping up? Let me show you the dominant range. It's between 23.35 to 23.55. Okay, let me make myself clear. For those who have had MWC, you have a data-driven reason still to top up or to hold your position, especially if the price is still moving higher than your trailing stop loss. If you are planning to enter a new position, meaning to say you don't have MWC and you are planning to add it in your portfolio, I suggest that you wait for the four criteria to become present. What are those four criteria? Those are the four that I mentioned in the previous talks that I discussed in this video. Okay. Next, we have CHP. CHP closed last Friday at 2.36. Support is at 2.33. Major support is at 1.81. Resistance is at 2.81. MACD is still moving in a declining position below the signal line. The bears are in control. RSI is drawing closer to its classical oversold level, although it's more like uh, still playing inside the neutral territory, but it's already downward sloping. And even though we are yet to see the trade and volume distribution chart of CHP, as early as now, I am saying don't enter a new position on CHP yet. Don't enter a new position, and don't top up if you have CHP. Don't top up, don't enter a new position. Sell if you're trailing stop loss uh, once it's hit. Now let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 2.36 to 2.4. Clearly it's in favor of the sellers. So don't enter a new position, don't hurry, don't top up. Hold your position if the price is still moving higher than your trailing stop loss. Otherwise, sell, because there's no logical reason why you should hold a stock that is already moving below your tolerable risk. Simple as that. Okay? I am bearish on CHP. MAC closed last Friday at 20.30. Support is at 16. Resistance is at 23. 21 is the midterm resistance level for MAC. You can also say that there's a midterm support at 18.6. Okay. Right now, MACD is still moving above the signal line, and unfortunately, the price already broke below the 10 SMA. Therefore, the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combo have already been broken. The positive DMI is also showing bearish convergence with the negative DMI, so that's not a good sign. Let's check the trade and volume distribution chart of MAC. MAC's dominant range is between 20.30 to 20.4. Okay, it's not clear. It's uh, it's uh, it's not clear whether actually it's in contrarian to what we see on the daily chart of MAC. The sentiment that we saw on the trade and volume distribution chart of MAC is in contrarian in what we on the bearishness that we see on the daily chart. But overall, I am bearish on MAC. Overall, I am bearish on MAC. So therefore, I suggest not to enter a new position on this stock. Okay? Don't enter a new position. And if you have MAC, it's better for you to stick with your trailing stop loss. Let's say you bought MAC last May 27. It's better for you to lock in your gains now or sell to as close as 21 pesos per share if you can still catch that level. Okay, moving on to the next stock, we have Now Corporation. Now closed on Friday at 2.34. Support is at 1.98. Resistance is at 3.18. MACD is already downward sloping. The positive DMI is also downward sloping. There's a formation of a bearish convergence with a negative DMI. RSI is also downward sloping. Let's check now sa trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 2.4 and 2.45. So there's a neutral sentiment on Now's trade and volume distribution chart, but based on what I see on the daily chart, and particularly the volume, I would say that I am bearish on Now. That's my overall sentiment. I am bearish. So I suggest not to enter a new position, and I don't think um, I don't think I need to give a piece of advice for those who may still have Now Corporation in their portfolio, because it's been a while that we haven't seen any strong or high conviction buy signals on Now Corporation's chart. Okay. Yes, the 10 SMA and MACD combo was met when? May 22. Okay, May 22. Probably you entered the position there. That was when the price was close to 2 pesos per share. If you catch, or if you were able to sell now near 2.6 or above, then congratulations, you were able to lock in a few gains. But right now, based on the price action of Now Corporation, I suggest to stay away from this stock for now. I am personally bearish on Now Corporation. Last but not the least, the previous POPI, which is now ALLHC. It closed last Friday at 3.62. Support is at 3.2. Resistance is at, let's zoom in this chart. Resistance is at 3.86. Okay. MACD is moving above the signal line, but it's showing a downward slope at the end, or at the end of the line. And RSI is also downward sloping. The positive DMI is also downward sloping. ALLHC is at the brink of crossing below the 10 SMA. And by the way, I'm still seeing a perfect bullish alignment among its 3 SMAs. But then again, those lines that I've mentioned are all downward sloping. Okay. Now let's take a look at ALLHC's trade and volume distribution chart. It's the dominant range is between 3.6 to 3.65. So uh, although that's still bullish on the trade and volume distribution chart, we're still seeing a bullish sentiment, and overall it's still bullish on ALLC. Um, I suggest that if you still have ALLHC in your portfolio, it's better that you stick with your trailing stop loss. And if you don't have ALLHC, I don't suggest entering a new position for now, because many of these lines are already downward sloping. So maybe it's time for, um, it's better for those who uh, still have this stock to prepare locking in some profits once your trailing stop loss is hit. For those who don't have ALLHC, don't hurry. Add it in your watch list if you're interested to trade the name, but don't buy it just yet. Alright, so there you go for my analysis and sentiment and recommendations for these 10 stocks. 10 stocks. My name is JZ De Guzman, and if you have follow-up questions, please ask in our private clients forum. Thank you.